everybody. Welcome to a new episode of the Real Entrepreneur Show featuring
Kathy Barthel from Take on the World, and I help you find your voice and your story and make you stand out from everybody else.
And once you've got your story, I'm Patty from Small Biz Sales Coach, and I help you grow your business to be thriving and surviving.
Fabulous.
Yes. Today's episode, last week, planning, now action.
Yes.
Yay. Just like the movies. Okay, let's go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
This is
today,
my favorite subject.
it's making that nasty sales call that
Oh,
she
no.
loves.
Oh, no. There's nothing nasty about it.
So, Patty, please, the goddess of sales, help us mere mortals figure out how to do this
When
call.
you think, most of us are in the business, a relationship business. And if you put it with that, it's that you're just phoning a friend. It's a business friend. And you're just furthering the step. You're not there to actually sell anything except the next step. So before you start, what is your next step? What is your ideal next step with that person? Is it a face-to-face meeting? Is it a proposal? What is your first step? And so when you call them, you go, hey, it's Patty, Small Biz Sales Coach. Remember we met 6 months ago and we talked about this. And have you got time now to talk about it? Is now the time for us to talk about it in depth? Mm-hmm. You asked a question, zip it. Be polite. Let them answer. So you might want to script your next one. So we talked about, and you should have some notes on the back of a business card and going, yeah, we talked about this situation and explain more. How are you doing it today? Mm-hmm. Again, you ask a question, pause, let them answer. And there is no script. Every person you sell to or want to start a relationship with is different. So there is no magic script. You just have to wing it, which is why improv training is so good.
Yeah, and we're both big believers in improv, but when you're sitting there, that's downright terrifying to say to somebody there's no script, right? Now, you did mention keeping some notes, which is really important.
That's right. It's
Right?
having some kind of system where you can refer them, because it's all about being personal. It's one-on-one. It's the face-to-face. It's having an intention, having a guided conversation to, where you want to go.
Yeah.
It might take 10 calls to get there.
Well, when you talk about the guided conversation, it makes me think of something that I always say to people, and I always try to remember when I'm doing one of these calls, is remember your value. You can't guide the conversation if you're not feeling really solid in the value that you offer. Like, it has to do with confidence, And I think what I would say is to think to yourself, what is it that I bring? Check your website. Look at those testimonials people have given you, or as Patty says, she has a brag sheet.
A brag sheet.
And
client results.
Yeah.
Not what I've personally done, but what with my help, my clients have achieved.
Exactly. And it's like, I have something called an accomplishment rewind, which is literally a folder. And I have written, before I even started my business, the different things that I've done in my life to give yourself a boost.
Yep.
So I think about that before you get into that call.
Yeah.
And the other
Make
thing,
sure you're up for the call.
Well, this is...
you might want to stand up. You might want to pace. You want to do jumping jacks.
Yeah.
What gets the, again, read your own press and go, I'm a damn good whatever.
Yeah, and the thing that I always think about that too, Patty, is get enthusiastic about not just how good you are at it, but how much you love it, right?
Yes.
How much you love what you do, and you've had these results for people, for clients, but really think about how much you love it, because people buy from that passion and that enthusiasm. We know it's contagious, right?
Yeah.
And having fun and enjoying what you do, so when you make that call, your energy level is up.
Yeah.
And your belief in yourself is up in a natural way, in a good way.
Well, it's knowing your ideal target market. What problem do you solve for them? And then saying, hey, how can I help?
Yeah.
Serious as that.
Exactly.
And they get, then you put them on the spot and they go, I don't know, we should talk about that. Oh, you got time now?
Exactly.
It's
And
so easy.
Yes.
And
Wow.
natural.
Natural is the piece, right?
That's the whole thing. Yes, just be
Making it.
yourself.
Yeah.
And if you're quiet and you just go, I do life coaching, and you said you had this thing.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about it? Should we meet?
That's...
You don't have to be.
Oh, and that's really important, right? Is being who you are, because if you've met at an event,
Yeah,
that's the personality they've responded to.
that's right.
So it's a good point, right? Don't be artificial. Be who you are. And the other point I think you touched on, and I think this is really, really important, is to not put too much pressure on yourself. We think, oh my God, I have to make the sales call. But,
It's not a sales call. It's just a follow-up call. It's just you got a new friend, and you're just touching base, but with a purpose.
Yes.
Have the purpose. Don't just go, hi, how are you? Do not do that. Do not ask that question. That's one question that's forbidden to ask.
Yes.
Because you don't really care because you don't know them that well. And it's.
And before we did this show, you said something that I thought was absolutely brilliant, the last piece, and I made a note of it, that they're actually picking up the phone. So they are, what did you say, open to...
You're not interrupting them. That's the best thing, is if you don't want to be interrupted, you don't answer the phone. That's what voicemail has been, responsible for. So if they pick up the phone and they're actually answering, it's like you're not interrupting them because... any responsible business owner would let it go to voicemail.
Yeah.
So I guess when you do pick up the phone, you have to be prepared to leave a sensible voicemail message, and that can be scripted. It's like, hey, and you just do the exact, like the same, hi, it's Patty, we met here, we want to do this, here's my number, talk soon. Keep it short, keep it sweet, don't bore them.
Yeah, so very quickly.
Don't try to sell them,
She obviously can talk about this, and actually the next episode we're going to talk more in depth about some red flags around sales.
And how to get over objections. That's a key thing.
But just quickly before we go, what we said at the opening is have an intention for the call.
Intention for the call, get pumped up, have your opening questions, your opening spiel, and keep it short, simple.
Yeah.
Have an intention and just go for it.
And know your value. And realize that it's not all going to happen on this one call. So take the pressure off.
And you're not bugging people because if they don't want to hear you, they don't know how to say that N word. No.
Or they just let it go to voicemail.
Yeah, you know what? It sounded like a good idea at the time, but you really want a yes or a no. You don't want this maybe.
Yeah.
And
there's lots more, but we will get into that in the next episode.
Yeah. So stay tuned.
See you then.
Happy calling. Bye.